What's up, guys? I'm Seth Mick. This is Native Diamond, your metal and rock podcast.
Welcome to the Native Diamond podcast.
Oh, shit! What you waiting for?
Before we start today's show, I need to plug a couple of things. As always, you can find me at native_podcast on all social media platforms.
Also,
You can find all audio on
all podcast platforms.
that way you can listen to the show on the go, at work, or whatever it is you're doing. I got you covered. You don't have to worry about that. And please like the video, hit subscribe, ring the bell. That way you're notified every Friday I drop a new episode of Native Diamond podcast. So, without further ado, let's get into today's show, starting off
With the review.
The review.
On today's review, I have Body Count, a Los Angeles metal rap band formed by Ice-T back in the 90s. They dropped their new album Carnivore on March 6th, released via Century Media Records. They had a lot of controversy when they first came out in the 90s with their song Cop Killer. They were playing Cop Killer live way before they recorded that song at like Lollapalooza and various other shows that they played. When they dropped the song, that was not widely received at all. They mentioned police officer Daryl Gates and the whole Rodney King incident. Body Count has always been somewhat of a politically charged band. Let's get into today's review, starting off with the guitars. The guitars are pretty heavy. I liked how chunky the riff is in No Remorse. The solos that were in Colors 2020 and The Hate Is Real were some of my favorite solos in the entire album. I wasn't too crazy about the guitar overall. I wasn't crazy about the guitar, but it was very modern as far as the down tuning and the actual tone of the guitar. The guitar felt a lot more hardcore than metal. I love the bass, man. That shit slapped. You do get a great mix with the bass, and it also gives this synergy of metal and hip-hop combining. Let's move on to the percussion. The drums are very tight in this album. I loved how the kick drum sounded. I'm not really crazy about these drums. They're not the best drums I've ever heard. It's not necessarily something that I like.
Let's get into the vocals and the lyrics.
Vocals are meh, they're just whatever. The lyrics come off kind of corny, kind of cringy sometimes. The tough guy shit, I mean, if you're into that, then
It works for you.
the lyrics are very simple. At times they come off kind of
Basic.
hat, cat, very simple rhymes. Everyone knows who Amy Lee is of Evanescence. Baller move on their part for adding Amy Lee in the songs When I'm Gone.
Let's get into the pros of this album.
It was a lot more entertaining than I originally anticipated it being. The guitar honestly kept me interested the whole time, felt very structured, and also I enjoyed the cover of Ace of Spades. It just feels like a fun band, honestly. They sound like they have a good time, but still get their point across. The subjects that they touch on are politically charged and emotional. I really enjoyed the fusion of hip-hop and metal, hardcore.
It was pretty interesting to listen to, honestly.
I like the overall concept of the album.
The cons of this album.
This style is kind of dated. At times it can be kind of cringy. I honestly think if you're looking for a better version, I would go with Immure. Everyone's gonna hate on Immure, but
They're doing the same shit.
a better version of this in my opinion. They're just better tough guy metal rap. Also, what was corny in The Critical Beatdown? That whole like fake punch fucking fight scene in the song. Here's a sample from that fake punch fight scene. It just kind of reminded me of like Batman back in the day, where you see like the pow, boom, pow, you know, right to kisser. It was just kind of stupid and corny, kind of silly. The rating. So as far as the album goes, took me a little bit to figure out a good rating. I didn't want to shit on this. There's nothing wrong with the album. It's not really my thing per se. I enjoyed the whole concept of this metal rap crossover mashup. I enjoyed the guitars. The drums were mediocre. I'm not gonna lie about that. The lyrics were kind of corny and cringy at times, but they do have a point. For the album Carnivore,
I'm giving this album
a 7.5 rating. Please go check out Body Count. They're still doing it.
I'm dropping that link below. You already know that's how it's gonna go.
Ice-T up in the house. Let me know, do you think this album is dated? Do you think Ice-T should just save it for SVU and leave the fucking rap metal shit alone? Let me know what you think at native_podcast. Now that the review is over with,
let's get into today's news.
The news.
on today's news, I have Silverstein with their new album that dropped March 6th titled A Beautiful Place to Drown.
Not emo by any means at all.
Silverstein is a Canadian rock band from Burlington, Ontario. They formed in 2000 and they just celebrated their 20th year anniversary.
Happy 20 years to one of my favorite bands, Silverstein.
This is going to be their 10th studio album. Personally, I think this band has pioneered a lot in the music scene. I think this album is a fucking home run. I like the track Where Are You because of the groove. The groove was fucking dope in this song.
Dope.
I also like Say Yes because it stays true to what this band is about. And September 14th, the cleans sound amazing on this song.
There's a fucking fly in here and it's driving me absolutely crazy.
September 14th is such a good vibe. It sounds so clean and crispy. And I also like the songs Infinite and Bad Habits. I love that they pulled Aaron Gillespie of Under Oath. We needed that this year, and in the rock community, this could be the album of the year.
We won't know until the end of the year, but keep this on your radar, I'm telling you.
Silverstein made another classic. They have been saying this is probably their best album to date. So let's try them out on that statement at native_podcast. Let me know what you thought about this album, A Beautiful Place to Drown. Also, Viscera, UK's metal supergroup, has dropped their debut album, Obsidian. Viscera has former members of the band A Heart of a Coward, Abhorrent Decimation, Martyr Defiled, Nerve Cell, and Surfaces. Viscera formed in 2019, and they're inspired by bands like Pantera, Sugar, At the Gate, The Black Dahlia of Murder, and
Killswitch Engage.
Viscera combines all these influences and does their own take of modern tech death and deathcore. Vocals are amazing, the blast beats are amazing, the guitar is crazy. I love how they opened up this album with Obsidian. Delilah had fluttering sweeps, and Immersed in Ire, I liked the melodies, the blast beats, and the riffs. So I'm dropping a link below for Obsidian by Viscera. Check out this new UK metal supergroup today at native_podcast. Let me know what you think about this jelly roll or this album, whatever. Now I'm getting hungry.
Forbidden donut.
Code Orange drops their new single, Sulfur Surrounding, on March 9th.
They dropped this single
And a new video. The video reminds me of that show back in the day called Reboot. I don't know if you remember it, but it used to come on.
Cartoon Network.
Kind of shitty animations.
No.
Code Orange is a Grammy-nominated band from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They're about to release their upcoming LP titled Underneath. So, Underneath actually drops today, but I'm not filming today, so it's kind of weird. Note to future self, throw your fucking work clothes in the dryer. Code Orange has been known to flip people on their fucking head, as they did in 2017 with their album Forever. They were on the top 20 best metal bands, Rolling Stone, Revolver's 20 best albums, and Independent's top 20 rock and metal albums of 2017. Also, Code Orange has been making its way into the wrestling world
with that wrestling, Bo. They've been getting into wrestling
because they released the song Let Me In for wrestler. He's like a spooky wrestler. Mr. Spooky Wrestler with the Code Orange fucking theme song. So go watch some wrestling today. Let me know what you think about this new song, Sulfur Surrounding by Code Orange.
Also,
Downswing dropped their new album, Good Intentions, March 6th as well. Downswing is from Albany, New York. They rose quickly through the ranks of Albany's hardcore scene, and in March 2017, the band released a 3-song demo. After posting the demo online, the Acacia Strains vocalist caught wind of Downswing. Vincent Bennett's post on social media helped them blow up. They got to play a Warped Tour out of it, and they got a deal with Rise Records in 2017. And they signed to Stay Sick Records, which is where they're at right now, in 2019. Stay Sick Records is slowly turning into a powerhouse. They have
Dropout Kings,
Body Snatcher,
Downswing, Dealer,
and
Dead Crown. Go check out their new album today. Good Intentions by Downswing. Let me know at Twitter what you think about this album, Good Intentions. And also, I'm gonna spawn the question, do you think Stay Sick Records is blowing up in a major way with all these new signings? They're signing heavyweights left and right. So that pretty much does it for today's news. Let's get into the countdown with the list.
The list.
You can find my playlist, Diamonds in the Rough, on Spotify. My
top 5 are the first 5 songs.
starting off with number 5. Loathe with their single Two-Way Mirror. Loathe is an English heavy metal band coming from Liverpool, England. They're kind of Deftones-esque. This is such a good song. I've been meaning to put it on my top 5 for a minute. This week it actually landed, so coming in at number 5, Loathe, Two-Way Mirror.
Coming in at number 4.
Today's number 4, I have The Word Alive with their single No Way Out. Buttery vocals, super buttery. You could pour that shit on popcorn.
Fuck!
This fucking fly, dude. If you see this fly in the episode, I swear to God.
Swear to God.
I feel like... Anyway, coming in at number 3.
My number 3 today.
Enterprise Earth with their single, The Failsafe Fallacy. This American deathcore band is from Spokane, Washington. Check out my number 3, The Failsafe Fallacy by Enterprise Earth.
Today's number 2.
Currents with their single, Second Skin. Their upcoming album will mark Currents' debut full-length album.
Fucking fly, dude.
My number 2 spot, Currents with their song, Second Skin. That only leaves one more spot for my list.
Which goes out to
My song of the week. Song of the week, I'm giving it to These Nuts. These Nuts have a nice song of the week. These Nuts are so hot right now, you gotta try them out. These Nuts is actually a name of a metal band. I'm gonna stop fucking around now. Your song of the week is These Nuts with their song
DTDFL Forever.
This single dropped October 18th off the album You Got Me Fucked Up. And These Nuts is a band that started when I Killed Prom Queen broke up. Drummer JJ Peters said, fuck that, I'm making my own band, and he made These Nuts.
These Nuts.
Influenced by hardcore music and hip hop. JJ Peters recorded this whole demo by himself, recording all instruments and vocals. He then acquired live members and started touring around Melbourne. Today's song of the week, DTDFL Forever. Go check out These Nuts. Drop the link below. Fuck this fly. I'm over it. Go check them out. Drop the link below. As always, tell me at native_podcast what you think about metal and rock combining. That wraps up my top 5 list. Go check out Diamonds in the Rough playlist. Last but not least, I have your hidden gem of the day.
Hidden gems.
Today's hidden gem is Deftones with their single Cherry Waves. Deftones is a band formed out of Sacramento, California, and they came out with this album Saturday Night Risk, October 31st, 2006. The song is such a vibe, so go check out Cherry Waves today, today's hidden gem, and that pretty much does it for today's episode. Press like the video. As always, shine on.